Banking and Finance Part 5 MCQs with explanation and notes, important sections and latest development that we are going to see. Welcome to our channel Pro Knowledge Center where the essence is career development. अब बनेगा करियर ABC, अब बनेगा करियर जोश पढ़ाई का आगे बढ़ने का जीत पक्की. Basic to advanced banking and finance questions are based on these many topics history, right from history of Indian banking system to committees, various committees appointed for the purpose of financial reforms and other relevant topics. Each question has four options. The answer key is given at the end of the session. Answers are not given, but explanations are given. Based on that, answers can be checked. Now we move to next. The MCQs will help the students of various competitive examinations to secure good marks. Get ready for action. We begin. A credit card issued to specific employees of a corporate employer is called as. Now, credit card issued to specific employees of a corporate employer is called as premium travel corporate unsolicited. We see the explanation so that we can mark the right answer. If we have marked the right answer at the end of the session, we can check it. Now we see that with reference is also given. A credit card issued to specific employee of a corporate employer wherein the liability could rest with the corporate entity or the employee or jointly on both. As per the product design features is called as corporate credit card. Reference RBI's Master Circular, Master Directions, Credit Card and Debit Card Issuance and Conduct Directions 2022. This is about first question. It is corporate credit card. Question 2. Who owns and operates UPI platform? Reserve Bank of India, Ministry of Finance, NPCI, SBI. Who owns and operates UPI platform? NPCI, National Payments Corporation of India Limited, owns and operates UPI platform. NPCI is an umbrella organization for operating retail payments and settlement system in India. It is a non-profit company incorporated under the Companies Act. It is an initiative of the RBI and IBA. The objective is to create a robust payment and settlement infrastructure in India under the provisions of Payment and Settlement System Act 2007. This is about NPCI. We move to next question 3. Which act ensures which act ensures the development of the banking sector through various measures? Whether it is Reserve Bank of India Act 1934, Companies Act 2013, Banking Regulation Act 1949, or SURFACE Act 2002. The Act ensures the development of the banking sector by taking various measures. So far, we can mark the answer here, whether it is A, B, C, or D. We see the explanation. Banking Regulation Act ensures the development of the banking sector through various measures. It's about the complete explanation. Now we see the next question. The main difference between the Banking Regulation Act and the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934 is that Banking Regulation Act controls the use of banking assets, whereas RBI Act controls the money supply and credit by banks. Now there are two more options and then fourth is none of the above. So if we can see the right answer, we can go to see the explanation after marking the right answer. The main difference between the Banking Regulation Act and the RBI Act 1934 is Banking Regulation Act, whether it controls the use of banking assets or Whether Banking Regulation Act controls the money supply and credit by banks, or Banking Regulation Act regulates the credit by banks. Let us see the explanation. Banking Regulation Act controls the use of banking assets. The RBI Act controls the money supply and credit by banks. Question 5. The scheme introduced by the government for resolution of customers of banks on account of services rendered by them is known as customers complaints. Customers complaints. While on account of services rendered by them is known as whether it is customer service scheme, debt relief scheme, banking ombudsman scheme, or bank credit scheme. After marking the answer, we are seeing the so far as question answer explanation. Banking Regulation Act controls the use of the scheme introduced by the government for resolution of customer of banks on account of services rendered by them is known as Banking Ombudsman Scheme. Question 6. Udgam portal launched by RBI refers to whether it is new saving account, it refers to new saving accounts, or loan renewal, or unclaimed deposits, gateway to access information, opening of new branches. Udgam portal launched by RBI refers to unclaimed deposits, gateway to access information. Question number 7. ATMs set up, owned, and operated by non banks are called ATMs operated by non banks. Option A is Finmart, B is white label, C is third party ATMs, D is terminal ATM. ATMs set up, owned, and operated by non banks are called white label ATMs. Reference is RBI frequently asked question 22/11/2022. Question number 8. Section 24 of the RBI Act 1934 deals with issue of notes, reissue of notes, denomination of notes, or demonetization of notes. Very important. Section 24 of the RBI Act deals with denomination of notes. This is the case of denomination of notes. Question 9. The Reserve Bank of India, in exercise of its powers under Section of the Banking Regulation Act 1949, had directed Paytm Payments Bank Limited to stop the onboarding of new customers with immediate effect. Now, the powers in exercise of its powers under section, whether it is 19, 20, 22, or 35A, that needs to be seen. The Reserve Bank of India, in exercise of its powers under Section 35A of the Banking Regulation Act 1949, had directed Paytm Payments Bank to stop onboarding of new customers with immediate effect. Question 10. In respect of a term loan facility, the loan account is treated as non-performing assets, where interest or installment of principal remains overdue for a period of more than A 30 days, B 90 days, C 60 days, D 120 days. Now we see the so far as the answer part of the explanation part. In respect of a term loan facility, the loan account is treated as NPA, where interest or installment of principal remains overdue for a period of 90 days. Reference RBI Master Circular on the subject. As per RBI guidelines, the performance of MD or CEO and whole-time director of the Asset Reconstruction Company ARC shall be reviewed by the options are the RBI annually, the board annually, the shareholders annually, none of the above. As per RBI guidelines, the performance of MD or CEO and whole-time director of the asset reconstruction company shall be reviewed by. Now these options we have seen, we see the answer. As per RBI guidelines, the performance of MD, CEO and whole-time directors of the ARCs shall be reviewed by the board annually. References RBI circular dated 11th October 2022. Review of regulatory framework for asset reconstruction companies. This is additional information we are providing for. We are not saying here A, B, C, D, which answer is correct. What we are seeing, we are saying is the answer, and accordingly, if the answer is marked already, then we can check from the answer key. Question 12. As per RBI circular, no person shall continue as MD or CEO or whole-time directors beyond the age of 60 years, 65 years, 70 years, 75 years in asset reconstruction company. Assets reconstruction company ARCs. So this is what the question is. Just a minute. This is what the question. The question is, as per RBI circular, no person shall continue as MD, CEO, or whole-time directors beyond the age of. We see the answer. No person shall continue as MD, CEO, or whole-time directors beyond the age of 70 years in asset reconstruction companies. Question number 13. Who has been appointed as the chairman of the 16th Finance Commission? Options are A. Urjit Patel, B. Raghuram Rajan, C. Arvind Panagaria, D. Subbarao. And we go to see the answer. Arvind Panagaria has been appointed as the chairman of the 16th Finance Commission. Question number 14. An audit committee of the board of ARC's Assets Reconstruction Company shall comprise of an audit committee. Very important question. An audit committee of the board of assets reconstruction company shall comprise of A. Executive directors only, B. Two executive directors only, C. Executive and non-executive directors, and D. Non-executive directors only. An audit committee of the board of assets reconstruction company shall comprise of non-executive directors only. Reference is to the RBI circular on the review that we have seen just before this question. Question number 15. The union budget of a year is referred to as in terms of Article 112 of the Indian Constitution. The union budget of year is referred to as, whether it is referred to as profit and loss statement, cash flow statement, fund flow statement, or the annual financial statement, AFS. The union budget of year is referred to as annual financial statement, AFS, in terms of Article 112 of the Indian Constitution. Question number 16. NBBL, a wholly owned subsidiary of National Payments Corporation of India Limited, stands for National Payments Corporation of India stands for New Bharat Pay Limited, NPCI Bharat Payment Limited, NPCI Bharat Bill Pay Limited, National Bharat Bill Limited. We see the answer. NBBL, a wholly owned subsidiary of National Payments Corporation of India, stands for NPCI Bharat Bill Pay Limited. Question number 17. Which act replaced the Public Debt Relief Act? Which act replaced the Public Debt Act, not relief, Public Debt Act 1944? A is Prevention of Money Laundering Act, or Government Securities Act, Foreign Exchange Act, or SURFACE Act. So PMLA 2002, Government Securities Act 2006, FEMA 1999 or SURFACE Act. The Government Securities Act 2006 replaced the Public Debt Act 1944. Which section of the Banking Regulation Act 1949 deals with restrictions on loans and advances? Section 15 or Section 18 or Section 20 or Section 22. This is with regard to restrictions on loans and advances. Section 20 of the Banking Regulation Act 1949 deals with the restrictions on loans and advances. Question number 19. Recently, the government has formed umbrella organization for the urban cooperative banking sector. Whether it is NABARD, then NPCI, UCB Limited or NUC FDC. The government has formed umbrella organization for the urban cooperative banking sector. NABARD, NPCI, UCB Limited or NUC FDC. Recently, the government has formed the organization for the urban cooperative banking sector is NUC FDC, National Urban Cooperative Finance and Development Corporation. This is NUC FDC. Section 17 of the RBI Act 17 deal Section 17 of the RBI Act 1934 deals with A. Capital of the bank, B. Penalties, C. The function of the RBI or D. Management. Section 17 of the RBI Act 1934 deals with the functions of RBI. Now the answer key is there. Question number 1 B, question number 2 B, question number 3 C, 4 A, 5 B, 6 C, 7 B, 8 C, 9 D, 10 B, 11 B, 12 B, 13 C, 14 D, 15 D, 16 B, 17 B, 18 C, 19 D, 20 C. This is the answer key. If the questions are answered first, then we can check from here. Revision part so far. A credit card issued to specific employee of a corporate employer wherein the liability could rest with the corporate entity of the employee or jointly on both as the product design features is called as corporate credit card. National Payments Corporation of India Limited owns and operates the UPI United Payments Enterprise platform. And question 3, answer to question 3, Banking Regulation Act ensures the development of banking sector through various measures. The main difference between the Banking Regulation Act and the Reserve Bank of India 1934 is that Banking Regulation Act controls the use of banking assets, whereas the RBI Act controls the money supply and credit by banks. The scheme introduced by the government for resolution of customers of banks on account of services rendered by them is known as Banking Ombudsman Scheme. Udgam portal launched by RBI refers to unclaimed deposits gateway to access information. ATMs set up, owned and operated are called white label ATMs. Section 24 of the RBI Act 1934 deals with denomination of notes. The Reserve Bank of India, in exercise of its power under Section 35A of the Banking Regulation Act 1949, had directed Paytm Payments Bank Limited to stop onboarding of new customers with immediate effect. In respect of a term loan facility, the loan account is treated as NPA where interest and or installment of principal remains overdue for a period of more than 90 days. As per RBI guidelines, the performance of MD or CO and whole-time directors of the assets reconstruction company shall be reviewed by the board annually. As per RBI circular, no person shall continue as MD, CO, or whole-time directors beyond the age of 70 in asset reconstruction companies. Arvind Panagaria has been appointed as the chairman of the 16th Finance Commission. The audit committee of the Board of Assets Reconstruction Company shall comprise of non-executive directors only. The union budget of a year is referred to as annual financial statement AFS in terms of Article 112 of the Indian Constitution. NBBL, a wholly owned subsidiary of National Payment Corporation of India, stands for NPCI Bharat Bill Pay Limited. Government Securities Act 2006 replaced the Public Debt Act 1944. Section 20 of the Banking Regulation Act deals with the restrictions on loans and advances. Recently, the government has formed umbrella organization for the urban cooperative banking sector is known as NUCFDC, National Urban Cooperative Finance and Development Corporation Limited. And last section 20 of the RBI Act 1934 deals with the functions of RBI. So this is the last part was of revision, the second part was of answer key, and the first part was of question answer.